Okay, good evening, one and all. Welcome to today's live Under the Spotlight. Hey, I'm your host, Stafford Perkins, and I am going to try to bring you a program this evening. It's something that has been out there since last week, but I'm kind of just compelled to put my stamp on it, my spin in it, do my portion of analysis on it. It's a situation where I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of this guy, Dayton Campbell. I call him Daytona Mouth Campbell, and his and his massa, the man Massa Mark from the United Kingdom, from England. And of course, he's part of the British Empire. And I think they gave him a job to come to Jamaica. He was handpicked from very young to go to Jamaica and take control of that country. I tell you something, well, it's kind of funny. I spoke about this story before about wholeness, where somebody, I'm one of the alumni from the RJ newsroom, the 80s newsroom. And, as youth man run up and down and drive up and down and hang out in the different hot spots in Kingston. We met a lot of people along the way, and we heard a lot of the stories. We got on the inside of things, and, you learn to keep your mouth shut when you hear some things, and when you can put it out, you put it out, and, all that kind of stuff. So, the thing with we heard about wholeness, that he was kind of handpicked to be the next prime minister. From he was at UWI. We got some information from somebody. Hey, take care of that young man. He's the next prime minister. Maybe it's just somebody making a joke, but some things stick in your head. And so here it is. We have Andrew Holness. But when we tell people about Massa Mark, that he too was handpicked by the British Empire, put into Jamaica to learn the culture. Apparently, he wasn't paying much attention. Some aspects of it he liked, and he dabbled in it, like the music. He went around with the sound systems of the day, and Stone Love and whoever else was a big sound of the day. And he learned to do a little bit of try to talk the patois, the language, the patois language. We're not going to call it no broken English no more. It's patois language. You learn to talk some of it. You can't even, do it well. But we saw him, and this channel has been calling him out for quite some time now, from a way back. Because it didn't make sense to me when I saw that he had taken up roost in this party, this noble party, the People's National Party, party of Norman Manley, Michael Manley, Dudley Thompson, and Anthony Spaulding, and of course put PJ in there too. The big names that used to be called in the early days, because we used to just look up to these people, love to hear their names, because when they hear their names, it means, especially when they are in government, they're going to be doing something. Portia Simpson Miller, of course. And then on the Labour Party side, Eddie Siagan, all those Errol Anderson and all them people name, we used to see them out there. Some of them gone on, like Errol left out very early. But this guy, he came up on the scene, and he has explained to us on several occasions how he came into the politics, that he was at UWI, he met Omar Davis up there. And of course, I guess he was a groupie of Omar Davis, because Omar Davis was, big shot in the party, and convinced people that he wanted to become part of the PNP, and he got in there. But we have been telling people for a good while now to say, hey, this guy is not measuring up. He's not cut out to be the kind of leaders we have come to learn. But some people thought differently, and every one of the leaders. There's no the only person I don't think gave him that check, that to say, yeah, you are the man. It probably was Peter Phillips. Because Peter Phillips, under the quiet, and I don't know if he probably hates when we talk about these things. But Peter Phillips played it cool. Just played it cool. He did what he had to do, whatever they gave him to do, he did it well. And they dissed him many a time, dissed him over, passed him over for things. But this Peter Phillips was the man, the real brain brain in economics for that party. He was a real brain of that thing. But apparently, I'm a person, I speak my mind, and I suspect Peter is like that. He tells you how he feels. And you suffer for it a lot of times when you speak your mind. And he probably, that's some of what I think he has suffered from, where when he speaks his mind, people hold it against him. And we know that, we hear the stories about him and P.J. Patterson, and he fell under P.J. Patterson's thing, and he suffered there. But guess what? In the end, I think that P.J. Patterson has paid a heavy price for not elevating this man to the rightful position. It is said that Peter was even blocked by certain people. No, not him, not going anywhere, block him. But they were happy to push through this massa. By the way, there's a man from Portland who called me just before I was going on. I could not answer that call. So, man from Portland, if you feel like you want to call me back, you can go ahead, maybe another half an hour or so, not right at this minute. Jim, I think his first name is, right? So if you feel like you want to call back, but call me further down in the program. I couldn't take it at the time you're calling, because that's the time I'm preparing and I'm getting ready to call, because I don't know if you realize I don't go at 9 anymore. I try to make a compromise and come a little earlier at 8:30. So with that, back to what I was saying, that Peter suffered because people didn't like him for whatever he was. But he, to me, that man's a man of classy person. And not necessarily in the high society class. Even though he came from there, nobody cared, because his father was some kind of big time principal and all them kind of stuff. Jamaica in those days, when you're a principal, you're a top. Not a top of Norris, but a top. Top of top, as we call it in the youth days when they talk about, where I put position people. So Peter was sidelines, and the one person who looked to Peter at the end of her time, when it was coming to her time, nature called and said, hey, this, you can't go anymore, you got to take a rest now. And so it's Peter who was there holding it up, writing the budget, writing the things for the IMF, so the IMF would give us a good deal. And so today, the same plan, the same program that is saving us today and has put us in a very brilliant position, the world is talking about us now. We are now being used as some kind of, study. We are being, we are being studied to see how we managed to come through what we came through. And it was all done by Peter Phillips and Peter David Phillips. And then you had this gentleman, this young guy who come through, Nigel Clark, the bespectacled Mr. Nigel Clark, Mr. Wilson. And he was there, and he came through and he said, when he got his break as a young man, he grabbed onto it and said, whatever it is, because he's trained, he's a trained economist, PhD, and he get some big job in Wall Street and all them things. And but he prefer to come to Jamaica, come give his service to Jamaica. Not him alone do it. You have Harton, the young PNP man, and I think I'm not sure if Favor Williams if she has a PhD, but she also worked in Wall Street. So, some good people come back, they go get the good education and come through, and we are beginning to reap the benefits of these people. Or whatever these people learn, they're giving it to us. We're benefiting. Jamaica is benefiting in a big way. And Peter Phillips was one of the lead ones. Now, one of the people who they told us was an economist, and it's not true, was Omar Davis. He's not an economist. And this is how ridiculous sometimes these leaders can get. Because Patterson made Omar Davis his finance minister when the man was not a finance person. He was not an economist. He was not a finance specialist. But he gave him the job, and you know what happened to, I don't need to tell anybody what happened in the 80s. What is it? The 90s. It's actually the 90s, because Siaga was in the 80s and Patterson came in the 90s. So it's in the 90s, especially the last part of the 90s. And here comes these guys come fishing around this massa, and his little body stunting, his little stunting body. They came along and they weaseled their way into the party. They made all kinds of mischief, especially the stunting, made all kinds of mischief. Patterson was running from him like a mouse running from a cat, but he managed to stick around and to go and weasel his way. And then, I don't need to go back over the whole thing, what they did to the economy or what happened to the economy and the advantage they took of the weakness of Jamaica. They took advantage of Jamaica in its weakest state, or the stage of our development. They took advantage and they made themselves very wealthy out of it. But guess what? Time has eroded. Even the money that they took, time has eroded, and we watch their empire crumbling. The proven empire is crumbling. And I don't think they can do anything about it. All they're doing is desperation now to get a hold of the reins of the country of Jamaica again, and to take. Say him not come to come strip him, not go strip him. Going to scoop him with a big old scoop. He'll be scooping. He won't be scraping. He'll be scooping if he gets near to the control of the country. And so we've been warning and we're talking. I am one. I've been warning. I've been talking. I've been calling. Say, hey, watch it, watch it, watch it. This is a plant. This is a man who's about to come finish cleaning out, and whatever is left of us. And I tell you, and we're there just waiting and waiting and waiting and watching and watching. But guess what? Things and times have changed. I want to do this before I go any further, because I was giving more people a chance to come on. Quite a few people have joined now, so I am going to do something here and start off with my theme song, and I'm going to line up something for you guys. All right. So let me see. Where am I? Yeah. Okay. Here we are. So here we go. Let's go with that.
Welcome to Under the Spotlight. Right here on Just Jamaica TV. Thanks to those who have already joined our channel. And we look forward to those who will in the days ahead. As we turn on the spotlight, here is your host, Stafford Perkins.
All right. Again, welcome back. Thank you for joining. Quite a few people have joined on now, and I want to just say welcome. And tonight we're going to go into the situation where we see that the PNP, well, I hate calling it the PNP, so I'll call it the Riser/PNP people, who, for some strange reason, it seemed like they have run out of ideas, and they are now, scraping and just rummaging and trying to find a solution. I don't know. There are some reports coming out about Jamaica, some big reports about Jamaica, where people, you have some people, sometimes you don't even know who these people are, but they're featuring things about Jamaica that if you live there, you might not even be fully aware of it. But they're talking about the 10 major projects that are being developed by Jamaica and the ones that have been completed. And, when you look at it and you listen to them, and I think I should have pulled on one, but I'm not sure if I did. It's, at some point, I'm going to search for it. But we see these things where people are looking at Jamaica from all different angles now and just, in amazement of what has been accomplished. And we have to give it to the people who are in charge. We have to give credit to them. We have to give credit to Andrew Holness for keeping it together, for keeping this ship, keeping it on a good course. And we are starting to see results. And here's this, they call him the British, the man from England, the Massa from England, the Massa Grand Picnic, the Massa Picnic, came as close as just a direct picnic from England to a lord, one of the lords of England, the son of one of the lords of England. And them sent him to the best university. I think he went to Oxford or something like that. And he has told a story that, hey, when he was in his class, it was just a one-on-one thing with him and him teacher. In my head, in my knowledge of the classroom, because I did a little bit of that too, when you have a child in a classroom, one-on-one with a teacher, that's what we call special ed, right? Earlier days, we used to call them something else, but we used to call them slow learners in some respects. So when you put him one-on-one with a teacher, because he was a slow learner, he's a problem child, and you put them one-on-one, and so when them get sent to Oxford, they make sure to give him a one-on-one training. So he came back to Jamaica, and then people have him to think he's this brilliant man because he went to those places, and he desperately wants to take control of Jamaica. And people have been calling out and warning, like some warner man and warner woman about the place, to say, watch this guy, be careful. So now, Andrew, I'll start getting to it now. Andrew is out there doing his thing, and the thing is coming together, and he's end up with a whole heap of money. You want to say a pocket full of money, but it's not the amount of money we end up with. Billions of dollars they end up with in surplus. And when you have surplus in a country, you have to find things to put that surplus money in that it will grow more money. There came a time when Nigel Clark was the finance minister, and Nigel came out and announced there will be no new taxes. This is not too long after they took, the JNP took over from the PNP, and he came out and it's the brash and brazen way he said, no new taxes, and everybody was like in disbelief. I said, no way, hell no, nothing like that. It's lying. And he did it 1 year, and he came back the next year and said, no new taxes. And then to the point, and they kept going and going with no new taxes. So finally, they said, we have this massive surplus. Boy, I tell you, this kind of thing, it's like an octopus, because you can just push out a tentacle and you can reach out in different directions with this thing, different directions. Because to the point where they're saying, Andrew Holness is being accused of, misdeeds, and they search, they can't find anything. But when you look at the economy, that the coffers of the economy is swelling, and nobody's saying, you know what? Why we really misread this guy, really underestimated him, we really have accused him wrongfully, because the country has money. When countries are being pilfered by unscrupulous people, you don't get growth. You don't get money, the purse getting fatter and fatter and fatter. You're getting problems. And we see where Andrew Holness has gone out and he has raised the minimum wage. He has given people more money in this PATH program. He has just handing out money left, right, and center. And the economy is gone, because one thing we have to learn, basic economics. once you put money in the economy, it's going to bring back a return. It's going to bring something to you. It will bring a return. It brings it back to the system. You put $1 billion, $2, $3 billion in the economy, it's going to bring back. You don't want to put it too much because you could get inflation. People have too much money and everything. But you gradually put it back out there, and a lot of money have gone back into the economy. And because of that, you're getting taxes. You're collecting, whether through GCT, because people can now buy something, even the food, what them have the GCT on. Your people are now buying things, and some money is coming back into the system. And these people, Massa and in Motley Crew, they're not even saying, where are these people getting this money from? They're saying, he stole some money. Sometimes in life, they say, no, it's not what, don't watch what you have lost. Watch what you have gained. Watch what you have gained. By the way, let me say this. We'll be bringing some things, and I'm telling you, if you think you like where I'm going and would like to hear, a lot more of what I have to say, please hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and make a comment, because all of these help to build this channel. And the channel has grown very well. I see my friend, one of my good bloggers or YouTubers, Miss Michelle Stern, she was showing off this man 1.6 million views she has gotten in her time. I don't know over what length of time, but I'm heading up to that million number too, and it's really a good thing. You feel like you are, you're putting something out there and it's bringing back something. So let me go back. So we can say, why the thing brought some good money back into the system, to the point where the next thing we heard them say, you know what? We have some developments to do, but we're not going to be going to IMF to get no money. We're not going to go to the World Bank to get any money. We have money, because let me tell you, when the debt to GDP ratio was 140, we were feeling it, suffering. Now, if you are suffering, and the first time a quarter point, it went down a quarter. Well, it's not that one. But the first time, I was going to talk about another index. But the first time the GDP showed a little strength, and when it got to about 120, we started to see the changes starting to come. Now, just think about this. If it was at 140 and it went to 120, and you started to see positive signs. Notice that 70. It's now at 70 or 79. I hope I stand corrected, between 70 and 79. I think it's 70. The GDP. You have pulled back a lot of money back into the system. We are one step outside the door of what they call investment grade. That's what our ratings by the big rating houses, Fitch and all the other big companies. We are just now with the rating agencies, and one of them is Fitch. And we are just one step outside of the door of saying we are at investment grade. When you reach investment grade, then is when you're going to see people, just investors pouring into the country. These are the things as a country and as a people. That's where we need to be putting our attention, focusing our attention. I want to do this. All right, we're getting up there. We're going a little farther than I really wanted to, but I am going to use this time to say to everybody, thank you for joining. The numbers are growing nicely, and I hope I can present the thing, because there's so much coming into my head right now. I don't read when I'm doing anything. I don't read off of anything. I have nothing. I just take it from my head, right? So the thing is, we are doing so well, and here is Matsama desperately wanting to become prime minister of this great little country. I'm not even so sure the size of England. I mean, well, England we know, but the size of, say, Jamaica in relation to Italy, are the place they call Rome. If they were bigger than, because Rome ruled the world one time. You understand? And it's not a very large country either, but they rule the world. And Jamaica is moving in such a way that you think the one day the generations to come after us, if they stay on the same track, who the hell knows? I see people writing. I see people carrying programs. No. European people carrying programs to say Jamaica could become a superpower. I said, you have to wonder what are they talking about? But when they go into the programs and they show you, you see, really, it could happen. So the thing is, we are doing so well in terms of you're running a business, the business is making money, you can go out of your own bank and take your own money and keep the business going. You don't have to go to the bank's loan window and say, lend me some money to carry this company. The company is paying for itself. I mean, the company is doing good, and the country, Jamaica, is doing good and in that regard. There are some weaknesses still in there, such as people are still struggling hard. But the thing is, they are being given a chance to do some real good struggle and to help themselves and find a little hustle in here and find a little hustle in there. So the unemployment rate has gone on. You might not be at the point where you're getting that nice amount of money in your pocket and everybody start rush Jamaica from all over the world because we're paying good and all, but we could get there. So the point I'm making is the thing is doing good. And here is Massa Mark and his motley crew trying to get in there, to come in there to run it. And what are they telling us? What are you going to do for us? The country is not having any issues of more than poverty, too much poverty, and we're trying to pull people up as fast as we can. And you know what they come up with? This is a big point about it now. You know what they have come up with? To raise taxes. Why you want to go raise taxes when you're already getting more than enough? The government even said, you know what? One of the reasons why we can be doing some of these massive projects, like the road work projects. Some people not even believing it's possible. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. They're saying what we can do, we can start for some of the taxes that are is owed out there. We're going to go for them. We're going to go for those taxes now. Because, and can you imagine if they're already doing so good and they can go there and say to people who owe taxes, pay up the taxes. And one thing with Jamaica, you just have to snap your finger and them start or flash I hate to use the term whip, but make bossa a blank, as them say. You just have to bossa blank. People more love that than using that some other term. You just have to bossa blank and people jump and say, all right, and then grab it and come give it. You understand? So here's it that the man is doing so good. They're hating on him, using some like a young people term now. They're hating on him and they want to bring him down. They use the IC. They use part of the court system. One part of the court system they have, and them use the IC, and they don't have another part of it playing to their rules. And so they're trying every which way. Them grab it, remember, he promised us, the master promised us that he and his Tapanaris friends are going to be running Jamaica. No, the only people we know in Tapanaris is some uptown brown people. And then them white friends. They badly want the country. And I've said this to you guys before. They badly want Jamaica. Let me do a quick thing at the top of the hour because I need to get a little bit more organized with this. And I'm going to play something, a little promo, and I'll come right back.
This has been Under the Spotlight with Stafford Perkins, right here on Just Jamaica TV. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Right.
All right, I have to stop it there because I hit the wrong one, but it's okay. So remember, like, subscribe, comment, and thing. And maybe I should do the right one. No, sorry.
Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Right here on Just Jamaica TV. Also, hit the notification bell. You will be notified each time a new presentation begins. We now return to Stafford Perkins in the Spotlight.
for our farmers.
All right.
The
So
Southern
here's what I'm
Plains
gonna do.
Agricultural
I'm gonna
Development
teach you
Program
this one.
between Clarendon and St. Catherine will irrigate 1,400 acres of land, which will be commissioned this year. The Essex Valley Irrigation Scheme between Manchester and St. Elizabeth will bring on stream another 2,600 acres of land, and we will break ground for the Pedro Plains Irrigation Scheme, the largest irrigation program in Jamaica's history, to bring a further 6,000 acres of land into production, which will take water from the Black River to our most arable agricultural areas. We will also be supporting our farmers with a program of mechanization and technology integration. Growing and building resilience in the agricultural sector is an important strategy for our food security and limiting the impact of food inflation. I've already addressed the measures we will take to give consumers relief on the cost of electricity and water. We're also seeking to build partnerships with India, the largest pharmaceutical manufacturer in the world, to get access to critical medicines at affordable prices. In terms of mitigating the cost of transportation, we are expanding the number of JUTC buses to several urban centers across Jamaica. The latest urban center to benefit from this is Morant Bay. Commuters who can access the expanded service will pay the subsidized fare schedule. We're also working diligently to develop the rural school bus system, which will significantly cut the cost of transportation to rural households. I've heard the concerns of a number of Jamaicans regarding housing. The government has taken an innovative approach to support the housing market through policy directives, financing, and incentives. The NHD has been mandated to build 43,000 housing starts for Jamaicans by 2027. This is a liver killer.
They caught me there. All right, sorry about that. All right, that's a liver killer. Sorry about that. Okay, so get this out of the way. All right, so I'm back. So I put that piece of tape out there early. Sorry, 1 second. My thing needs to be plugged in there. 1 second. Yeah, my plug dropped out and my computer was about to go down. All right. So that piece of clip, it with Andrew Ness announcing or talking about his plans and releasing and all of these big, nice, fat plans, especially agriculture, because back in the time of Eddie Siaga, when I was there, Siaga was pushing for agriculture at one point. He used to have this thing they call Spring Plains, and then some other areas, and there was a big time farming that was taking place in the Spring Plains area. Thing was making a lot of money, but I think the guys, I'm not even going to tell you which country them come from. The guys who were there, they got involved in some other stuff, agriculture, but the ones that was not bringing much love from the United States for Jamaica. We paid a heavy price, and after a while they packed up. I think they locked them up or something. One of them name was Ellie. So if I tell you the man named Ellie, you must know who I'm talking about. And Ellie Tusona, he was the man, and them packed them up on that close on. But I saw big time agriculture in Jamaica. I saw big time agriculture under Michael Manley. When Michael Manley with he used to have some cooperatives, Hounslow and some others, big time agriculture. So we can produce food in Jamaica. We can produce a large amount to the point where you have a glut. One of the problems we used to have a glut, and we didn't know what to do with because we didn't prepare for it. But Michael had built this place named Agricultural Marketing Corporation, right at, what them call it? It's 6 miles in a Portia Simpson constituency. So. And they built this big thing so they could take in the excess. And then people started doing like carrot juices and all some other different type of juices. There was a company over in that industrial area that started doing these things. And agriculture was doing good. But after a while, some other people come there. I don't think Patterson is a fan of agriculture. I'm not here to bash him this thing, but it's the truth. He wasn't a fan of agriculture. Maybe some aspect of it. Yeah, he had some people who were good, like Roger Clark, and then people who love agriculture and so forth. But agriculture suffered. And then with the world, the way the world is, and the way people, we see people like Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso, what he has done with agriculture is turn this country around, taking it out. Pretty soon they won't be considered one of the poorest countries because they have some holy part of stuff, gold and diamond and uranium, and they have all kind of thing, and they doing agriculture, and they put it in all kind of solar things, and just building up, his natural resources. So when I see Andrew Willis doing these things, this is the way to go, because in the North American region, they have used up their land they've used their land so badly. A lot of the lands are damaged. They barely can do agriculture in Florida anymore. They used to be a big citrus producer, but they come backing out of citrus so faster than, whatever, can escape. And because they just have, the land have been exhausted and they have been poisoned, and the land not producing what they used to produce. So we have a chance to go there because we have good lands in Jamaica, and we can make good money. We can take up where Florida has fallen off. And so when Wellness has come to us and said, hey, I'm going to be pulling back these 10,000 acres here, 6,000 acres there, how much 1,000 acres here and there, and I'm going to be bringing water from here, and we're going to have this whole new system of supplying water to some of the areas in St. Elizabeth, which is always a place with difficulty with water and to keep their agricultural thing going. And he's going to be giving them water in abundance. And so here now, when you sit and you're watching and you're in anticipation and say, yeah, finally look like Jamaica is going to go somewhere. We're not taxing the people as we used to tax them before. They're trying to put money in their pockets. Okay, if you put money in their pockets, you can get back taxes from that, just natural with the natural tax system, the GCT. And the thing is working. But suddenly last week, I want to jump a little bit because I don't want to stay too long. But suddenly last week, here comes this big announcement from a wannabe agriculturalist. Because this man, him is a doctor. He have a qualification. He studied to become a doctor, but I think he never practiced one day yet. 2, he have a law degree, but I think he never represent himself or anybody yet. Because the way him talk and run himself in a trouble all the while. Him run up his mouth. He have about 4 or 5 lawsuits coming off of him. If he was a sensible lawyer, I would know him don't say certain things. And him go out and just run his mouth, and that is Daytona. Run off his mouth and run himself into all kinds of trouble. And so now him have a whole host of lawsuits coming at him. And now them say, all right, because I want the way they think of agriculture, they have no respect for agriculture. So them take him and say, are you one agriculture man? Because, because he's not even doing so good. And him can always go give him a senator position and him still can become minister of agriculture, I think. Right? So if them go in an election and them should have win, God forbid, him can them just, because nobody don't want him come represent them. So the thing is, they now decided they make this grand announcement that first, I think Damien Crawford even got himself in trouble with that nonsense stuff. Then come and announce that they're going to increase taxes. They want to put a tax so they can fund agriculture. We have a tax on education already. We have a tax on housing already. We might even have a tax on health already. And we must know, after they pay all the other tax, you must go pay another tax. And people are saying, hell no. Remember, we even gave up a thing for the oil, for the gas, the cess. We're paying that cess, and when I get back, we're going to get it. Them take it because we were in trouble one time, and they did assess, and they refused to get rid of the cess. So that's why they have so much money, because they have some taxes that they collected that it's going straight into the coffers of the government, and nobody's backing them out. So here it is that Mr. Dayton, three of them, Dayton, Crawford, and the massa. The massa go out there and say them about the taxes. Now, when the people come and bawl out for massa, I said, what the hell are you talking about? Who More taxes for what? And he said, you're how stupid this guy is. The guy said, no, it's not a tax. It's like we're going to take take the money and then we're going to take it and put it in thing, and it's not the people not going to feel it. What are you talking about? Tax is tax. And the problem behind that is the people will, there is not the it's when they're doing what I'm saying, I'm going to take the thing at the wharf, or when you're bringing in the thing, and they're going to charge you this more money. What the people they are paying for is to help the mass of them, the tapanars them, for bringing them goods and make some extra money on it. Because no matter what, when them sell the money, put it in the bank and it grow interest too. But it's not about looking out for the people. And they said they're bringing this tax to come outdo Andrew Holness's big plans. Let me, something I've been talking now, boy, and with over 100 people up there already. And this is just on one side. This is on my side. We're going to the back side of it with YouTube. We have got another story back there. So let me try and read some of these comments. Yikes. Ladies and gentlemen, enough for beer milk, because I have to read even a few of them and then move back into the thing. So, all right. Let's see. I think I can see it in YouTube, but I don't know why it doesn't stay when I'm finished. Let me see. You want the early people then. All right, the early people. Bear with me. I get in. See, on my cell phone. I go in the cell phone and grab out because I have a whole heap of people. New Era Entertainment. Yes. New Era Entertainment. I don't know. With Mars. We are back here. New Era Entertainment. Whooper Love. Whooper Hearts. All right. So Lloyd Campbell, Mark Golden won't mean nothing. Leon Cummings, bright and sunny days of JLP all over Jamaica except for scattered areas of PNP in a few far off districts. New Era Entertainment, free speech. Sandra Kesson Hibbert, time come for you, for no man left back a man, and get a woman. Erica Barnett, no change in Jamaica's governance right here now. And New Era, Ira Joseph, JLP, Wolipa, Green Art, and Flash Fingers, and the Victor, New Era. I say a whole bunch of new people, and thank you everybody. Everybody, thanks for coming on. I'm trying to represent as best I can. I'm not here to. I support the idea that we have our two parties, our two main parties. If another one could find the energy and to come in, it would be great too. But we support the system, and so I try to. There was a time I used to listen to this. One time not so long ago, I used to bash Andrew Holness. You understand? And so if the man, when I used to bash him and say, you're not doing this, you're not going to do this, and I see him doing good, why am I going to bash him for? Why am I going to speak against him for? He's doing good. And believe me, as a man, them say a little knowledge is dangerous. So the little knowledge from me have, me tell him same do good. He's doing good. Whole heap of countries are envious of Jamaica right now. So why am I going to talk against him and wish that it come down? The Jamaican people's lives going to get better if it keep going, if the way he's going. And Mark, unfortunately for him, whoever sent him on this mission to Jamaica, yes. Somebody is asking, you guys asking, where is the missing $3 trillion? Now, I know, I don't figure you out yet, New Era. I haven't figured you out yet, but you give me a word for heart, an orange heart. Oh, you're an orange heart you're putting up, and then the other one is green heart. But I think you're a bright person. I suspect you're a bright person on New Era Entertainment. So listen to this. Think about it. If $3 trillion were missing, where do you think they would be hiding those $3 trillion? You know what $3 trillion look like in terms of real money? If we put it in a bank, the bank would have to make the announcement to a government, even the US government, more than anybody else. Anywhere the monetary systems are in the world, you would have to report that, because $3 trillion in cash floating around like that can destroy many economies over and over. Right? You ever hear about a man named Mansa Musa? The richest man who ever lived on earth was a black man. And him have so much money. One day he went on one of his pilgrimage. I think he went to Mecca. And when he passed through Egypt, it left Egypt in bankruptcy because you know what? He came from Ghana. No, it wasn't Ghana he came from. I think he came from the same era, Mali. And when he passed through Egypt to go up into Mecca, it ruined the economy because he gave away so much gold to people that it created a massive inflation. So you think about it. If somebody had stolen $3 trillion, where would they be hiding this money? Which country would they, which bank would they, if they put it in any bank? What? And I hear somebody gave a very apt description. They said if you're going to hide $3 trillion, you'd have to dig up the whole of Cayman, dig up all of Jamaica, go dig up all of the British Virgin Island, go dig up all over the place for bury that money if you want to bury it. There's no place you can hide that kind of money. And if I will try to quickly just explain about this thing, to say that, you know, if you have that kind of money, it's sometimes hard to say, but if you have that kind of money, it is going to create a massive problems. You cannot have that kind of money anywhere. Nobody can steal that kind of money. Oh, I remember now. The actual thing was that the people, what I'm calling them, the permanent secretaries, were not doing their jobs. They were not doing their jobs. They should have reported when they got the money and they distributed the money. I don't even think like they stole the money either. It's not the money you can steal like that. And when they disbursed the money to the different departments, they were supposed to get back receipts and do a report to say that this is how we spent the money. You are the steward of this money. You must give account of your stewardship. And they did not. For the last 10 years, it was badly managed. And it's not one government that it fell under, both governments. And so because somebody else wasn't doing their job. They weren't doing their job. The whole thing got left behind, undone. It's like you're supposed to do your tax return. When you live in America, you must do your tax return. No Swiss bank can hold that kind of money. Come on. Get smarter than that. I know you're a smarter person. I just pick up your vibration. I know that you're a much smarter person. Don't try to put sense to that. So you know, I was gonna say something. I believe this one I look for them. So they go out and they create this thing, this narrative, telling people $3 trillion missing. No $3 trillion missing. That the girl herself, the girl who wrote the story, had to correct herself because she left it hanging out the way she reported. You know, I never went after that girl to say she was creating mischief. Never brought it upon her. She did what she did because she thought she was doing the country a good by reporting this thing to say that, you know, that they have not accounted for $3 trillion. Yes, accounting in the sense of accounting. But this is something that they should have passed a report back to Parliament. It's supposed to come back to Parliament. But those who were in charge of the whole Parliament, and it's not the PNP alone, not the jail alone, all of them, they just allow this thing to keep going when the thing should have been coming back to the Parliament because they voted on all of these monies and somebody should in the Parliament. I think they say it's that parliamentary, is the parliamentary secretary? Yeah, I think the lady who left, one of them kind of people that were supposed to say, oh, Jesus. No, I'm going to say this. Please be a little bit more respectful of each other. You know, we don't need to be overly nasty. I can get nasty, but, you know, it's not called for. All right. So I'm going to, if I don't get to read these things, I'm going to read them after I make some comments too, if I can. The person who's in charge of the Parliament, because that's where the money comes out of the Parliament. And if when you have the Parliament and you give out those monies, it is the parliamentary secretary's duty and anybody else who works along with along with the parliamentary secretary. It is their duty to bring this accounting system up to scratch. It's not Andrew Holness who's managing the money. It's not Andrew Holness who is taking in these things. And it's not Mark Holness is an opposition leader. It wasn't PJ Patton who was bringing this. This money comes to the parliament, and then you do a kind of reconciliation inside of right at the parliament to say, yes, we see where the money was sent out, and we see how the money was used, and they might even have to vote on it too. The parliament was supposed to even vote to say, what them call the man, the accounts, what them call them, the accounts something, the parliamentary accounts something, them guys who look on the money committee, the parliamentary accounts committee, I think it is called. These guys are supposed to look at that, reconcile it, and say, yes, we saw where the money went out, we see where it was spent, and if you have to send out auditors and things, go look and say, they said they built a road around there, so when you go look and see if you see the road. Well, that's not nothing to do with it. And it's far the furthest thing. A man can, in a position, a man can get some kind of money, but not that money, not that $3 trillion. And I think the person who did it, she had to back up and, try to patch up what she did. Because I'm the one who brought it to the public to say, hey, stop it, be careful what you're doing. It's nonsense. That woman was talking nonsense. I never went after her like that. But in the end, that's what it was. That's what it was. She looked at it and told herself that that this money was not accounted for. It's in the parliament where everybody sitting on there, PNP and JLP. The PNP sat down there and who not the PNP was responsible. Where's the opposition leader? They said, how is the accounts committee doing? Can we get a report? Did the accounts committee report that everything was hunky-dory and everything is good and fine and clean and smooth and pretty? Who's making that kind of report in the parliament? It's the parliament. They are the ones who are responsible for that. Let me see if I can bring you guys something else out of my bag of tricks that I have here, because I brought, my goodness, what is that? Yeah. This one here. I'm going to try to load a thing here. Right. So let's do another one. Now we're going to do this. All right. So this, again, we're going to go back to where the problem starts.
So wants a special fund to be set up, which will benefit the country's agricultural sector. He's suggesting that a tax be placed on imported agricultural produce, and those funds be used to establish what he calls the agricultural fund.
Agriculture has to be a priority, and there has to be a dedicated fund that is able to respond to the needs and to build out the sector.
The opposition spokesman on agriculture says the process to get land for farming is often too cumbersome.
If I have the business plan and I have the market for it, why can't I get the funding to go ahead and do it? And then when I sell the produce, you take back out of your money out of the profit that I have made. And that's what we intend to do.
All right. So with that, it sounds to me like when he's doing that, and that's where he ran into trouble. He's trying to come up with ideas on the fly. And if all of them sat in a room and came up with some like an aerobrain scheme like that, you know how people are. No, if we are going after Andrew Holness and saying him thief the $3 trillion what the country spent in the last 10 years, and it says Andrew thief the $3 trillion, which was so, and I shouldn't even say it that way because it makes no sense. But I'm just saying as it's been said. And people say to him, then can you imagine now? Most of the time, you know what is the problem in Jamaica a lot of times? It's not that some people don't get the money, to do what they want to do with agriculture or any other area. A lot of times people misuse the money. Them take the money. You know how much time I see them give people money in Jamaica to do agriculture and them take it and build a house? You know how many times? You ask any of them guys, them early guys in the business, even Peter Phillips and them, and they ask them. People give the people money like that and say, because you want it to move fast. And they give them the money. They give them money to build a house, and then take the money and go buy a car. And then them walk and say the government, nobody now do nothing for them. They don't do anything for themselves because them take it and go buy it in some little, as somewhere they call depreciating asset, a motor car. Every year you drive it, it falls apart and it gets less and less and less in value. And so, to just go out and say, give the man the money so he can go thing and thing. No, it might be the worst idea yet. I asked any of them earlier guys who have gone through the thing, and they will tell you one of the worst ideas and to get people and say, we're just going to give you some money and you go farm. Bullshit. What Andrew Wallace has come up with him say is going to be making it where you have the tractors available, you will have the seeds, you will have the fertilizer. That's what the great Ibrahim Traore is doing in Burkina Faso. Him get the people, them in buy tractors for them, him plow, get them so them get the land plowed, him give them the seeds, and him give them the fertilizer, and the country turned out one of the biggest, a bumper season for agricultural production last year. So if we would do that, it would be a way more valuable thing to do than give nobody no money. I will do the land for you. You have the land, show me. And he will Andrew will say have. Him say have 6,000 acres there, so. Have another 10,000 acres there, so. And him have acres upon acres all over the island. You have the sugar lands, you have the banana lands, all over the place. Line follow. We start getting some people. That's what Michael Manley did when he took the land and he developed these cooperatives. One of them was Owens-Law. I don't remember the rest of them right now. The Naireri farms, all those things. People produce when you give them that push. You have to get away from the backbreaking and even not even the axe drawn thing works anymore. It's not big enough to give it a kind of to get great productivity. So things are being done. The man come in building houses. I can play a housing tape for you. He might build a house, he might create the setup thing for the farm, he might create the water, he might building the roads. How the hell you can go and tell yourself you're gonna vote for a man because him some color, or him is of this or that class, the Tapanars class. And tell him that when him come, him and him Tapanars friend, them going to take charge. And you see, Michelle did a brilliant piece of work with a thesis on the taxation, how these people built this tax system, created this tax system where the poor people would pay taxes, but they wouldn't. The Tapanars class wouldn't. And here's a man opening up the door for us. He has opened the door. And he has lighted the way, as I say. All we have to do is just go with him, All we have to do is go with him, because this is the first time since Michael Manley I see somebody doing something in Jamaica where agriculture is concerned. And any country that can't feed itself, you're not going anywhere. You're looking at all of the developed countries are developing countries. Looking at all of them, agriculture. They have found a way. China, Japan, Germany, anywhere in Europe, it's agriculture. We learned through slavery, we learned to hate agriculture for a good while. I'm pleased to see young people going back, and especially women going back towards agriculture. Because if we can produce, we can feed ourselves. And if we can feed ourselves, we build a better nation, a stronger nation. That's the first thing we have to work towards, feeding ourselves. I don't even know Andrew Wallace's philosophy. I don't even know what has driven him in that direction. Which wind blowing there, but the wind is a good wind. And Jamaica is about to win from it. Because if the man has so much money, that he can tell you, say, hey, I got money. Let me just do a little promo on my thing here again and, reset. 1 second. Don't move. Nobody move a muscle. Let's get to this.
Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Right here on Just Jamaica TV. Also, hit the notification bell. You will be notified each time a new presentation begins. We now return to Stafford Perkins in the spotlight.
Okay, thank you. I see my friend one Maroon Warrior sent out a clip here. I don't know if I can get it to play. It's just a pic. No, it's not playing anything. All right, the final is playing, but breaking financial. Yeah, something where a story came up. Financial analyst Dennis Strong exposes consequence of PNP's food tax proposal. So everybody, they come down under a lot of pressure for it. I don't know if I can get something also.
Chong is a financial analyst.
Oh, okay. I think she's doing a program in it. Maybe, she did it 4 hours ago. All right. So you say everybody, coming out and say, what kind of madness is this? Want to get and so Mark Golden, he got up and say, let me go for that clip. Mark Golden, he get up and say, show more. All right. Mark Golden, he has gotten up to say, oh, it's not him. Wait 1 second, please. I have to find this clip here. Ooh. All right. This is Mark. This is going. I'm trying to find the thing where 1 second. I know it's here. Bear with me a second. I have a clip with Master Mark. When Master Mark came out with fight. All right, let me see if it's this one. I'm not sure if this one, but all right, here's a little report here. I don't think I played this one yet. All right.
We have some ideas, and some of our spokespersons from time to time may say certain things. One of them, for example, is that the existing taxes that are collected on imported food items, we should earmark those funds to developing local agriculture that can eventually replace those imports. So we grow local production to replace imported food. Yeah. But we're not talking about putting any new taxes on imported food, because we don't see the need for that at this time. In fact, for most of the years of this government, when they talk about no new taxes, they have in fact collected on several occasions $100 billion more in the fiscal year than the revenue estimates that they had put forward at the beginning of that fiscal year. So that is how successful the tax reforms have been. And this is when the economy was hardly growing, because they've been a spectacular failure when it comes to generating economic growth.
Such taxes would not be absorbed by importers, but instead would be passed on to consumers, with the poorest among us likely to be the hardest hit, as they, of course, expend a great proportion of their disposable income on basic food items. The Jamaica Labour Party is dismissing in the strongest terms the plan by the PNP to impose additional taxes on the back of the Jamaican people, given that there have historically been challenges in fully satisfying Jamaica's local demand for agricultural products. Some of the very products he referenced, such as potatoes and onions. At present, Jamaica only imports from the United States and elsewhere to supplement local production. An argument may be advanced that Dayton Campbell is clearly speaking outside his area of competence, but the better view appears to be that the PNP's tax plan is consistent with the high taxation and inflationary policies that they have traditionally pursued.
All right. Hey, let me get this out of the way. Clear it out of the way and then come back. Now, I tell you, Miss Maroon Warrior, one Maroon Warrior, if you feel like, where's my thing here? I just realized my caption is not running. I'm gonna put back my caption because Miss One Maroon, why you have done so much work on this thing that I don't think something I take note all of those things. But the only one I can come up with is this one right now. I'll work on getting back my thing here. So, yeah, that was the clown. That was the clown of the. Where is this thing coming from? Jesus. Something came up in there. All right, this is the one that I want up there until I can sort things back out. Yeah, so the I don't even have the number near me. But the thing is, when you listen to that clip, that is, I think we did listen. The clip we just listened to is 2-1 with Massam, and the other part, the other speaker was Marlon Morgan. Now, in this, and Sunny days, sorry, I don't have the number ready right here, so I'll try and figure it out by the time I get off. But the thing is, this is a Gleaner says, Gleaner, one of the early reports, Gleaner says Campbell was not proposing, or he said the Golding says Campbell was not proposing new taxes on imported food. No, this is all this guy, because in the cut before, he was talking some nonsense. And him, everybody saw it to him. Don't come back and he must try cover up for Campbell, because as I heard somebody in a discussion said, this is not something that Campbell just pulled out of his hat or grabbed it out of the ear. This is something they sat in a room and discussed. They discussed this. They talked about this and they agreed that this is what they would be saying. And he came out there without thinking about what he's saying. This is the other person coming. This guy named Graham, and I think this is what One Maroon Warrior is looking at, to say here's this guy, Graham, who is a PNP man, and Graham said they're going to pay a price for it at the eve of when say justice for taxpayers. Hugh Graham, 13.1 million. I don't know. I'm not sure about what matter, but him say PNP can't escape. PNP can't escape food tariff judgment on election eve. People are struggling, and what you gonna tell the people about any tax? Why do you think they want to be paying any more tax right now? People are crying, and Andrew said the thing tough, and say yes. I hear him talk to them all and say yes. I hear you. I know it's tough, but we can't. I'm doing my best to try to do some jigger some things and that's why I keep pushing up money. He can't just take up every last penny out of the coffers, the country's coffers, and give it away like that. If you do it, it will run the country into a serious place up. If you think it's inflation yet, just pour billions and billions of dollars in the economy one time and see what happens. You have to gradually put it out there. Give a little man a little, give a little man a little more, give him a little more. And that's why I say give them housing, proper housing. Because if they get proper housing, they can build on top of that. If they get proper housing, they can build on top of that. Because if you give them housing, they're going to want beds, new beds. They're going to want curtains. They're going to want, you understand? All kind of fancy thing, they dive and set, however they used to call them, and the pretty whatnot and this and that. You're going to want them. And you're going to be spending money. And when you spend money like that, you push money back into the economy. And that's how you grow an economy. So one of the first places that and I hear more and more Andrew is saying, he's talking about 40,000 houses now. And he's thinking this is one of the biggest, one of the largest amount of houses going to be built any one time. How long? I think it's over a period of, if it's a 5 to 10 year period. But he's pushing to housing. And I love when I hear that, because I know that is the answer. And I said, don't worry so much about the white picket fence housing. put up some apartment buildings, more tall apartment buildings. Get everybody in there where they feel the sense of work. You will see them start hustling at a level you never seen before. You never knew Jamaica had that in them. Jamaicans had it. Because we watch them on the track. Who told those kids that they're Stafford and the Usain Bolts and the Blakes and the who told them that they could go and kick ass in the world, kick the rest of the world's ass? That everybody respect Jamaica today. So now, if we give people a chance to feel like themselves and feel like them have something working for them, work for an apartment, rent them the apartment. You can't give it, if you can't buy it right now, rent it to them with the option and say you the option to buy whatever you put in the rent. We're going to put it towards the ownership. We can do it. Singapore did it, and we can do it. I know, Peter called me because when he hear a good argument, it's hard for him to stay out of it. Peter, where you say?
You're on fire tonight.
Oh God, be careful. you swell up my head.
No, Mr. Perkins, you're on fire tonight, man. Trust me. Trust me when I tell you that.
Well, should I say? Let me ask the people. Should I tell him thanks, people? You know, why? Most of the people is one of the hottest bunch of people I've seen in a long time, and I can't even find the time to get into them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find a picture and put up there so that I can get my face closer because they will hear me, but I hate pushing my face in the camera like that. So I'm going to put the Motley crew up there. Yes, no, Peter, I can come in and without get my face too much in it because I have to read some of these things. And yeah,
well, Mr. Perkins, I want to tell you that again. Now, we should keep them happy New Year. I hope everybody can have a healthy, safe, and prosperous New Year for everybody here and in Jamaica. But all I'm trying to say, Mr. Perkins, is that you hit upon the nail last week. Sunday now, when you say to them, say, the Capanars, them don't want the dirty people to get
anything, yeah.
They don't want them to get no pretty thing. That's why them say no, don't can and talk about stop the spending. That's why them talk about this $3 trillion tech business because it's a team, Mr. Perkins. It's a team. They might try to lay the groundwork. Maybe use a big word as a precursor to come out and say the government is spending too much because they lost $3 trillion, and now we must tighten our belts. And
there was no loss of any 3 trillion because them not have no bank in the world for that kind of money.
Everybody knows that the rubbish that right out of the back, Mr. Perkins, nonsense that. But what I'm trying to say to you, Mr. Perkins, it's a prelude, Mr. Perkins, or a prelude to some kind of more insidious thing by the Capanars to come out and say, stop this spending. Because they don't want the Jamaican people and get a pretty thing. They don't want them to get a pretty highway. They don't want them to get a pretty house, no pretty car, no pretty job, no pretty life. They don't want them to know at all, Mr. Perkins. The Capanars and want them come out and say, they want the Jamaican people come out and say, listen, we the Capanars can decide who live and who die. And them are drive the crime, Mr. Perkins. And them are drive the poverty, them Capanars.
Yeah. And the man, the thing about it, the man had the nerve to come tell us that he might go bring him set of Tapanari's friends to come run things. And you know, that to me was the biggest insult to the Jamaican people. Because Tapanari, you come out of Jamaica when you have to look up to them people, you know, because them feed them dog better than all them feed. They made get very little money. And the dog, them spend all of the good money on the dog, them to feed them.
The dog get good food and the meat get washed.
Yeah.
The meat get the wash and the dog get the good food.
Yeah. So you know, when the thing comes down to it and you hear this nonsense, you know, you really have to speak up, you know, and that's what it's all about. Let me see if I can say something. Nathaniel Brown, the PNP Incompetence, the PM. And his party, I can see you are a big, you don't know what you might talk about. I'm Nathaniel, boy, if you see me as a fool, then you're a bigger fool. That's all I can say to you, because you obviously, you have to be some special kind of dunce for not understand what I'm saying. I'm sorry, is your party and is your massa. You know, I mean, understand you're what them call the great Abraham Traore call you're a parlo slave. You know, I understand that when in the early days they used to call them house, and the house man always feel like him better than the one outside. And if you ever hear the man outside talk anything with sense, him running and go tell Massa. I mean, Massa come whip him. But these are not those days, Nathaniel. You know, total different days. Sandra Atkinson says she gone, class start over. Them are run them have them class over thing there. Jamaica people just love rumors. They are not interested in the truth. Yeah, this is Lloyd Campbell is saying this. It's true. Part of the problem. Them just love the little stupid talk. You know, them love the little stupid talk. And you know, yeah. So you know, that is what we're saying now. That we are at this point, the country is looking perched, sitting there ready to take off. And you have some people who are not happy to see that. Them prefer see the top of them can't deal with it. You know, let me get out this out. Right.
You know, we have some ideas, and some of our spokespersons from time to time may say certain things.
Trouble,
One
but
of them, for example, is that the existing taxes have to.
All right. I have to get out of that. I was getting out of something and got myself. Right. Right. This thing is not going away. All right. Oh, I know what I'm. Right. So, yeah, this is what I have to hide that. But yeah, it came from. So, Mr. Yeah. So you're saying no, Peter?
Well, Mr. Perkins, I said before, you know, listen, man, when that man come out and say, listen, we love the PNP, you know, Mr. Perkins. We love Michael Manley, where he must try to stand for, and all that stuff. Mike was my hero, still going out with the my hero. But the party of today is not the party of yesterday, Mr. Perkins.
No, it was captured.
We don't know the party no more because them seem to just in this cult like behavior to worship Master Mark.
Yeah.
And then they must follow this man down over the cliff.
Right.
I don't understand it at all, Mr. Perkins. It hurt my heart and it hurt my soul. And then the man talk about him going to bring in Tapanari. We don't want to be ruled anymore, Mr. Perkins. We want to be governed. And then somehow or another, the PMD party believes that we need to get rulers.
Right.
The Tapanaris are telling people, tell the man to stop the spending. But they want to tell the Prime Minister to stop the spending. They want to spend it on the people of Jamaica. Spend the money on the people and uplift the people. Did they look at the example of England, Mr. Perkins? England is now a third-rate economy and a 10th-rate country. Because they don't do no spending for them people, Mr. Perkins.
And they had them have the money, but they didn't spend the money. In the right way. They didn't spend it. They didn't spend it on development, building, doing things that will bring work and bring more money back to the system. Bring back wealth to the system. Yeah.
Them take an IMF mad man said, them just keep on running surpluses after surpluses after surpluses. Them don't spend on the national health, them don't spend on them road, they don't spend on the bridges, they don't spend on the school, they don't spend on nothing other than they said they could build up surplus. And now the top now that the Prime Minister said, listen, only do the same thing. Look where you get England, Mr. Perkins, nowhere. Stop follow that stupid ass English model and that IMF model that people got to run, keep on running surplus. Invest in the people of Jamaica, invest in the infrastructure, invest in schools, invest in hospitals, invest in housing.
Well, the thing is, Peter, it is going to bring back more money. When you spend money like that, it's going to bring back more money. You see, It's going to bring back more money. If you sit and you put the money in the bank and you sit there watching it, it's not going to do anything for anybody.
That's
But
Tapanari style, Mr. Perkins.
that is how them see it, because none of them want to do anything and to build a big company. Remember, we used to have some big companies in Jamaica. We used to have a Goodyear. They prefer them sell it. They prefer them give it away, sell it away, and buy some tire from somebody else. Then you had you talk Colgate. Them give it away. We buy all of the toothpaste from everybody. They don't want anything. They don't. And this is where Africa is reaching now. Africa said, listen, you want my raw material, you can put the factory here. You're not taking my raw material anywhere, because you pay me 10 cents for a pound of my whatever I'm selling, gold or whatever. And you go out and you make a ring and you come back and tell it to me for $1,000. You are the one who's getting rich. So we are going to, you want to build you want gold, you're going to build a ring, you're going to build bracelets, you're going to build chains, you build it right here. Come build it right here. Let my people get a chance to eat, some food now. You guys have been eating for the last 300 years, 400 years. It's time for us to eat.
Mr. Perkins, that's what the people in Ghana say when they come out and say, listen, the cocoa, them deal and the chocolate. And say, listen, we're not just taking our chocolate go across the seas anymore. We're not chocolate factory, the chocolate factory in Ghana.
Yeah, so and then you take the chocolate, then you take the chocolate to Switzerland and say Swiss chocolate. And then they don't grow they can't even grow chocolate, a cocoa tree inside of them house. Switzerland, them have a chance where them keep them cows in them house right through winter, because them have no land or thing, and them too cold, them cows will die. So each of them have a cow in them house. And then milk the cow and put out the milk out the door every morning like the mailman. And a big truck come through the hillside, pick up the milk and carry it to the factory, go mix it with the chocolate and make Swiss chocolate. But without the African cocoa, them can't make no chocolate. Or without the cocoa from Jamaica, them can't make any chocolate. Anyway, from Ghana, from Ivory Coast, all it come from Africa. So the coffee come from Ethiopia. When Jamaica was having a little better sense, the coffee used to come from Jamaica, one of the best coffee in the world, but we refuse to. Somehow we have given up. Hopefully, Wholeness might still go down in the thing and say, you know what, we're gonna relaunch this coffee business. So
Mr. Perkins, like I said before, no good will come of this concept of the good quote unquote give everything to the top and and make it trickle down to the Jamaican people. That is not an economy, Mr. Perkins, that is slavery.
Yeah.
You don't have to give it to some new mass and make it trickle down.
Yeah.
Because the Jamaican people can't influence the Tapanars now, because the Tapanars are not influenced by votes.
Yeah.
Them control the wealth, them control the government, them control everything, and then they talk about the vegan. They can't vote for Tapanars.
Yeah.
They don't care about our vote, Mr. Perkins. Them fly up and them private jet Ghana, America, and Europe for bird shoot and hunting and all that stuff, and live pretty life in them villas and castles, and why the Jamaican people must suffer. And all I'm saying, anybody who want, whether the PNP or guilty, anybody or any time who want build stuff for the Jamaican people, build a pretty road, pretty school, pretty hospital, give them something and all to give them a pretty life. The governor just say, no, stop the spending. Stop the spending. That's all you hear from them. Stop the spending. Because they can't them stop the stealing. The governor them look for the time people must spend the money for the Jamaican people. They call it stealing. They're stealing the money.
Yeah, but that's what them said. That's what they said. They can't believe. They said the $3 trillion was stolen, but no $3 trillion was stolen. The $3 trillion, what them should be looking at and say, man, how we have progressed to the point that we can be spending $3 trillion over 10 years. The early days, that was like foreign language. So we should be, just like how the IMF look down in Jamaica and them see the little fella named Nigel Clark, and them say, hey.
Don't forget the great Dr. Peter.
Yeah, I guess maybe by then Peter wouldn't want to on them kind of, heavy stress there. So them give it to the little young boy and say, come in. I'm pretty sure they must have, Peter must have been offered something along the way. But when you reach a certain age, you don't want to take on a certain job. Make Nigel go on. Him young and him can withstand the rigors of, working 16 and 20 hours trying to get things right.
What I'm trying to say to Mr. Perkins, we must all give thanks for Dr. Peter.
That goes without, that one goes without saying. That me not stop say so. As we used to say in Jamaica one time, me not stop say so. Because I know that. I was really deep into it. When he came and he went to, I was one of the people who went to Hunter's College when he gave that report. And that's why I learned so much from that lecture. They used to call it was called a lecture series, and he came and he delivered a lecture on that one. So that's why I know the thing so well. And so we know it. And I show every time I get the chance, I show plenty of respect to the thing. But I said, like a young Niger come on there and still catch the fire. And the IMF grab him. Hopefully he can, replicate it for some other country out there to say, hey, this is what you do. And if you want to get ahead and you have to fix it. It was a painful period. It was not what Jamaica went through was a very painful period to get to where we are today. And
I know, and Dr. Phillips really actually pulled the country out through that painful period.
Yeah.
And what was the reward by
overthrown by these hoodlums? Overthrown. These what I call them, these backstabbers.
Deviants, Mr. Perkins, these demon deviants.
Yeah, these
Capanaris, he was overthrown by these Capanaris worshipping fools.
Yeah.
Come out and talk about them, then bring the country to answer the opposite of these Capanaris, Mr. Perkins.
But Peter, guess what? No. I'm about to go to 2 full hours of this. I don't like doing that. I don't want people to have to listen for 2 hours to hear what I have to say. So I want to tell you, thanks for calling. It's appreciated. I want to tell all my good, strong supporters, man. I know them love it's Sunday night and everybody relax. But guess what, guys? It's 10 o'clock coming up, and everybody have to start get checked for head out tomorrow morning to work. Those who have a job. And the weather seems to have in the North America. The weather seems to have become a little bit more cooperative, nice, much nicer weather. I was able to go outside and wash my car today because the weather was tolerable and no snow, no bull crap like that. And so we want to just tell people, thanks for finding me and joining and hanging out with me. And a good number, you are still there. I tell you, really, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And we look forward to doing this again. I have some bunch of other stuff that I want to bring forward, and I'm going to be working on it. And this thing seems to be growing like it's like it's growing like a monster in terms of, in a good way, because people who never used to say anything, guys like the guy named Graham, who I heard somebody was asking for him today. So what happened to Graham? He has not been in the parliament for a long time. He decided to walk away from these guys because I don't know his background, that guy. But he seemed to realize he's in a wrong camp and he's walking away from them. He walked away from the seat, and that's the seat Damon Croft is trying to get. The big disappointment to me in this game right now is Damon Crawford himself. He make himself be used by these fools and turn them into a fool, and the sooner and get away from them, the better. That's why Lisa pulled herself away from them. She saw the madness coming. Dayton Campbell is not fit for anything, him go run anything. I don't think him can run him own life much more. But we have to just yeah. So we just want to tell them thank you and say thank you, Peter, for calling. I'm gonna shut it down. Just wanna talk out of this. All right, sir. We'll talk again soon.
No problem, Mr. Perkins.
Yeah, man. Every time. Yeah, you too. Yes. So, people, I want to tell you thanks. I'm gonna play my little theme song going out and tell you we are going to be hooking up again here soon. I have a bunch more things I wanted to talk about, but I tell you, when I started talking, it's just so much was flowing out of me that I said, boy, there's just so many angles I can pull in, as I said, if you like an octopus pulling left, right, and center. But me, I think we did get out a good amount of the information. And we just want to say to the Prime Minister, keep doing what you're doing. You're on a very good track. And and the country will be the better for it, because I see the result. I don't know. It's going to take some people a while. I have a bunch of clips that I'm going to play next time I come, because showing up some of the real looks of what is going on with Jamaica, how the place is transforming under our very eyes. And some of us are too close to it to see it. But we see results, and it's happening, and it's going to be a big thing in the Caribbean. Huge. All right, everybody, let me see if I can look at a couple of these things. I go to the bottom. Avis, good night. Change your time to an hour or so. No, ma'am, I did a half an hour earlier, Miss Avis. I changed from 9 o'clock to 8:30, and I sent out all of my invitations. And then, let me see, Novelet, I say, they want him to stop the spending the money, because they want it to stay, because they think they will be in power. Exactly, you have a good take on it. They don't want to see him spending money, because they think they will come grab and put it, and him putting the money out there to work. And the more he put the money out there to work, the better his chances of holding on to office for another 4 or 5 years. The partners don't share. They are snobby. Yeah, there's some snobs. And the entrepreneurs is definition uptown snobby or wealthy person that does not like to share. And them not like poor people. Them not like little people. And it's not so even, you don't want to call people poor so much. I'm going to see if I can get on this from here. So you don't even want to say poor so much, because people, wealth, money alone is not what make you wealthy. People, happiness and peace of mind is worth more than any money, because you can have all the money in the world and you have some bad ailments. I mean, as somebody said last week, somewhere I saw throughout this past week, I think Vibes Cartel would give up a lot of that money he has now to get back to a health that he had before this manifestation of whatever it is that he's going through with this sickness, Graves' disease. And I hope that somewhere in there the doctors can find a solution. The one thing I want to tell Vibes Cartel is should read up on him, read a lot. And if anybody know him, he should read up on what tattoo ink does to the glands, the thyroid glands, and all the other glands throughout the body. Read up on what tattoo ink does to those people who like to put a lot of tattoo on their bodies. The Japanese are one of the first people. The Japanese gangsters are one of the first people who used to cover their body in tattoo. And one of the things they talked about is that same Graves' disease, that same issues with glands. Because they find the ink when they do the autopsy on the glands, when they probably remove them or whatever time that they look, they see the ink inside of the glands. So Mr. Vibes, you have a power carrying through the earth right now. And I would love to see you get back well and fit and strong and stay around for a long time, because I believe you have that. You can talk to a lot of these kids to stop doing the crazy thing that they're doing. But do some study on what tattoo ink does to the glands in your body. All right? And maybe I'm not a doctor. I can't come tell you that, this or that. I just say do some Oh, Navle. All right. I'm going for work. You know something? I'm going to work on it. Navle. And I'm going to take my time. But, I like the England crowd. I have some good people in England. And the Canadian crowd I'm trying to pull into. But the Canadian, they're on our time. But England crowd, I will, but Miss Navle, if me even come from, you say it's now 3 a.m., if me even got 8 o'clock, you realize all it would be doing is make you go to bed 2:30, even though it's that time I tend to go to sleep too. But hey, I'll work on bringing it up further, back to 8 o'clock, because in the winter time I usually come a little earlier. I mean, not the winter time, when we go to daylight saving time. But I think they're cutting it out in America. When Donald Trump comes, he says he's going to cut it out. So who knows? But I'm going to try. I'm going to try to accommodate and come in a little early, 8 o'clock. Yeah. I'm going to work on it hard. All right. Everybody, let me say thank you for being there with me Thank you for hanging out, to almost to the end. Those who have to leave out and run, go to some other place. Yeah, yeah. Yes, true. Yeah, you're right, Navlet. There's a lot of things we can learn from the Bible, not just to become, like just this religious kind of thing. We're fanatics. But the Bible is a good, it's about things that happened long before us and keep happening over and over and over. I can bet you, tattooing on the bottom, these marks, they're not new. The Egyptians and all over Africa, people are always doing marks. In Africa, they do a lot of body marking, but sometimes they don't use ink. They use actual cutting, and it leaves all kind of scars and marks. I think they're moving away from that now too. But that's a fact. And if somebody hear me and hear him and know him, just say, hey, I hear a man talk about the tattoo and the Graves' disease and the ink in the blood and the ink in the glands, these thyroid glands and so forth. Well, check it out, study it, and see. And if you can start doing some, I would say the vibes, if you can start doing some detoxing of these glands, because there are people out there, specialist people out there who know how to detox glands. Them can detox your liver, your kidney, your this. I know some of them, but I'm not going to push myself out there like that. You have some people who do that kind of stuff, and they make big money out of it, but I'm not going to do it. But I can tell you, if you go to the right people, the right naturopathic people who can cleanse, your system, they can detox you. All right, everybody. Thank you. God bless all of you. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. And we're gonna see you soon. I'm trying to even put another day in there somewhere, but I still can't pull myself up to get there yet. But I'm working up towards it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Election coming. We're in election year, and we have a lot to talk about right down to whenever it is. All right. Bless you, everybody. Have a good night. See you soon.